Hello everyone, welcome to the e-lecture series. Myself, Professor Neha G. Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Engineering, KK Wagh Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nashik. We are NAC A accredited and NBA accredited for 8 branches. In this particular e-lecture series, we are going to cover one of the courses from BE Computer Engineering 2015 course of Savitribai Phule Pune University. The course that we are going to cover is of semester 1 and the course name is Data Analytics. In this particular e-lecture, we are going to cover one of the topics from unit number 2, and the name of the topic is Hypothesis Testing, Type 1 and Type 2 Error. So, before we start our e-lecture, let us look at the objectives and outcomes. The objective of this particular e-lecture is to understand the concept of hypothesis testing, Type 1 and Type 2 errors. At the end of the lecture, you will be able to define null hypothesis, define alternate or alternative hypothesis, and apply hypothesis testing and determine the type of error, that is whether it is type 1 or type 2 error. So let us start. Before actually moving on to the concept of hypothesis testing, let us first understand the two terms, hypothesis and testing. So in general, if you look at the dictionary meaning of the term hypothesis, it actually means some assertion or some assumption that you consider it to be true, okay, and you use it as a basis for some further investigation. So that is the meaning of hypothesis. Now testing is you have to test something whether it is true or false. So in this case, hypothesis testing is nothing but evaluating and checking whether the assumption that we have assumed is correct or not, or is true or false. So hypothesis testing is evaluating the assertion on a population and test it with sample data. Now here in this definition you will see the two terms, population and sample data. So what does this mean? Okay, so let us consider an example. If I have to check whether the number of COVID positive patients in Vidarbha region exceeds 80%. Okay, so this is an assertion that I am assuming or considering it to be true, and I want to check it whether it is actually true or not. Okay, so in this case the population is all the people that stay or those reside in the Vidarbha region. Okay, and testing it with sample data means now we cannot go and personally check every member or every human being who lives or who resides in the Vidarbha area. Okay, so it is difficult. Testing like this on the entire population is difficult. So what we do is, to avoid this, we pick some samples, that is we will pick sample people from different areas of the Vidarbha region and we check whether they are COVID positive or not. Okay, and depending on our results of testing, we will say that either our assumption is true or it is false. Okay, so that is the meaning of population and sampling. So population is the entire population, that is the complete set of people, and sampling is we consider few samples from that population and perform our test. Okay, so what we actually do in this hypothesis testing is we try to evaluate two mutually exclusive statements on a sample data using some evidences. Why we need evidences? Obviously, if we have to prove something, you need evidences to support your proof. Okay, and if we are able to do that, then we say that our assumption is also true on the population data. So that is the whole scenario or the entire meaning of hypothesis testing. Here are a few examples of hypothesis. The first example says patient is COVID positive or not. Okay. Second example, in the court of law, if you consider defendant is guilty or defendant is innocent. Third example, TE students whether they will attend the next data analytics lecture or not. Now in these three examples you have observed that there are two parts of the statement. Okay, one part says patient is COVID positive, other part says patient is not COVID positive. So we are considering two mutually exclusive statements. They don't have anything in common. So they don't have anything in common indicates what? Either of the two statements can be true. Both cannot be true at the same time, right? Okay. So now in this particular three examples, you can see there are two parts of the statements. What are these two parts called? One of the part is your null hypothesis, represented as H0, that is assumption that you consider to be true by default. Okay. So let us say the first part of the statement is our null hypothesis. So patient is COVID positive is our H0, defendant is guilty is our H0, and TE students will attend data analytics lecture is our H0. That is our null hypothesis, default assumption that we are considering to be true. Okay. Then the other part of the statement is the opposite of it because they are mutually exclusive. So the other part is called as alternative hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. So it is represented in some books, it is represented as HA, or in some books it is also represented as H1. Okay. So it is just the opposite of null hypothesis. Okay. Now in general, for any particular example, what this null hypothesis means is there is no difference between the samples. Now there is no difference between the sample indicates what? H0 is true. Okay, let's say in the first example, if you consider you have taken different samples from the population of Vidarbha region and you are checking the test whether they are COVID positive or not on these sample people. Okay, and the output of that test on all those people, it is positive. Then it indicates what? Output is the same for all the people. Okay, so there is no difference between the samples. So this actually indicates that our assumption, that our null hypothesis is true. So if it is true, that means we have to accept it. Okay, so this is in general what is the meaning of null hypothesis. There is no difference between the samples. Second is alternative hypothesis, means just the reverse of it. There is a difference between the samples. That is, you check the first person is COVID positive. You check the next person from the sample, he is again positive. You check the third person, he is negative. Okay, so there is a difference between the samples. Okay, so your outcome can be anything. So that is your alternative hypothesis. Now how do we perform this hypothesis testing actually? Okay, so we will see there are basic three steps to perform this hypothesis testing. What are those? We will see them one by one. The first one is make initial assumption. Now when we say initial assumption means default assumption, and we have seen the default assumption is nothing but our null hypothesis or H0. So let us consider the second example. Defendant is guilty or defendant is innocent, whatever it is you want to consider as H0. Okay, so let us consider H0 as defendant is innocent. Okay, so we have framed our null hypothesis. What we have to do next? The second step is collect the data, that is the evidences. Now in this case, in the court of law, we are actually want to test a particular criminal whether the criminal is innocent or he is guilty. Okay, so what can be the evidences or what can be the data in this case? It can be some fingerprints, it can be the DNA, it can be the output of lie detector test, it can be the phone calls, and so many things are there, right? Okay, so we will collect all these evidences. Okay, So that is the step number 2. What is the next step? After you gather all the evidences, you have to actually analyze, okay, and come to a conclusion based on these evidences. So depending on the evidences, you will perform the analysis and we will either accept the null hypothesis or we will reject the null hypothesis. So if all the evidences that we have gathered show that the defendant is innocent, then in that case we will accept H0, that is we accept the null hypothesis and we will reject the alternate hypothesis. And if it is not so, then in that case we will reject the null hypothesis and we will accept the alternate hypothesis. So these are the basic 3 steps that we follow to perform the hypothesis testing. Here are some more examples of null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis depending on the applications. The first application in the list is accuracy forecast. So let us say null hypothesis can be some model X does not predict better than the existing model. This is our assumption. So obviously the reverse of it, or mutually exclusive events they are. So the opposite of it would be model X predicts better than the existing model. That is our alternative hypothesis. Similarly, if you consider another application of recommendation engine, let us say null hypothesis could be algorithm Y does not produce a better recommendation than the current algorithm being used. Okay, and reverse of it, that is alternative hypothesis, would be algorithm Y produces a better recommendation than the existing algorithm, right? So likewise, you have the third example of regression modeling, wherein the null hypothesis says a variable does not affect the outcome because the coefficient is 0, and the alternate hypothesis would be the reverse of it, that is the variable affects the outcome because the coefficient is not 0. So these are the few examples. Now we come to the concept of type 1 and type 2 errors. Okay, so now when you are performing this hypothesis test, you may come across 2 types of situation or 2 type of errors can arise. Okay, these errors are called as type 1 and type 2 error. Now what is this type 1 error is? Suppose you have assumed a null hypothesis, okay, and in the second step you collect the evidences, okay. The evidences does not support the null hypothesis, for example, okay. So because the evidences does not support the null hypothesis, so what we will do is we will reject the null hypothesis, right? And we are rejecting the null hypothesis, that means we are accepting the alternate hypothesis, right? Okay, so in this case, suppose it is the situation that our null hypothesis is actually true in reality, okay, but because of lack of evidences that support the null hypothesis, we are rejecting it, okay. So that is an error, right? Okay, so such type of error is called as type 1 error. Similarly, we have type 2 error, okay. Suppose you are collecting the evidences, okay, the evidences support the null hypothesis, and because the evidences support the null hypothesis, we are accepting the null hypothesis and we are rejecting the alternate hypothesis, okay. But suppose in reality the null hypothesis is false, okay, but because the evidences support the null hypothesis, we have actually accepted it rather than rejecting it, okay. So this is the second type of error, which is called as type 2 error, okay. So we'll see this concept with the help of a confusion matrix. You can see here, you might have come across the term confusion matrix. In the confusion matrix we have true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative, and so on, okay. So in this case, let us say H0 is actually true in reality, okay. So H0 is true means our null hypothesis is true, okay, and depending on the evidences, suppose the evidences support H0 and so H0 is accepted, okay. it is true also and it is accepted also, that is our evidences support H0, then in that case our output is correct. Okay, so that is a correct outcome, so there is no error in this case. Okay, suppose H0 is true but our evidences does not support H0, because of which we have rejected H0, but in reality it is true. Okay, so it is a type of error. Which type of error? It is type 1 error, because even though it is true, we have rejected the null hypothesis. So that is our type 1 error in this case. Okay, similarly H0, suppose it is false, okay, but still suppose the evidences that we have collected, they support H0, because of which we have accepted H0, but it is actually false. Okay, so it results in an error, the second type of error, that is type 2 error. Okay, similarly if H0 is false in reality and the evidences also does not support H0, so we have rejected H0 and accepted H1, so that is the correct outcome. So you can see here it gives us the correct outcome. So this is type 1 and type 2 errors, and this is the confusion matrix for the same. Okay, so here we come to the conclusion of this particular lecture. Thank you all for patient listening. If you have any queries, if you have any doubts, you can contact me or you can drop a mail onngsharma@kkvaag.edu.in.